the beginning of the end. Time kept counting those who failed to learn from the past were doomed to repeat it. And in the ash-swept skeleton cities of old, nothing proved truer. Ragged bands of plague-ridden vagabonds wandered the great wastes of Utah, crossing sun-scorched farmland now reduced to dust. Their footsteps left only powder as they searched endlessly for survival. It was not always this way. At the turn of the century, humanity celebrated the promise of knowledge and technology. The computer age unleashed global markets, transforming economies into something uncontrollable. Free enterprise surged beyond borders and national debts grew unchecked. Governments lost their grip, turning resources over to corporations, hoping supply and demand would stabilize the chaos. Instead, energy prices soared, fuel became scarce. The lower classes suffered most as riots, looting, and armed escorts for fuel became calm and employment vanished. Fear drove populations into migrating bands searching for relief. Meanwhile, the planet itself turned hostile. Climate shifts brought famine and disease. Flesh-eating plagues, immune-destroying viruses, and new strains of ancient illnesses spread unchecked. Science failed. The ozone thinned, the land burned or flooded, and governments teetered on collapse. A new promise. With the United States in anarchy, President Alan R. March offered hope. He introduced the gold note currency to combat inflation and attempted nationwide aid. But drastic action followed. NAFTA was abolished. U.S. forces invaded oil-rich nations under the guise of security. NATO fractured as allies refused to support these actions. Congress backed further expansion, targeting South America for resource recovery. Nations already weakened by disaster resisted. Igniting revolutions, Russia and China mobilized across Asia. Europe prepared for war. In South America, General Manuel Felipe Silviano rallied forces under the United Hispanic Nations, marching through multiple countries. His army neared victory until U.S. forces intervened. The world descended into global war. World War III. Conflict erupted worldwide. Middle Eastern alliances attacked. U.S. and British forces, chemical and biological weapons devastated populations. Russia clashed with European forces. The Pacific became a battleground as U.S. forces fought advancing Hispanic armies. President March declared the defense of U.S. soil as war reached American borders. His final words echoed, "Never has one country under God ever needed him so much as we pray now." Let freedom scream, set the world afire. Russia and China initiated nuclear exchange. The first flashes of destruction consumed cities. Hong Kong fell. The nuclear age had begun in full. The satellite wars. Operation Blackout attempted to cripple global communications. The U.S. launched Atlantis II to destroy enemy satellites. But Russian space defenses annihilated the shuttle. Counterattacks in orbit followed, plunging the world into technological darkness. Aftermath, the last day. Humanity witnessed its own destruction. Nuclear fire rained from the sky. Cities burned under mushroom clouds. Bodies filled the streets. Survivors wandered ruined lands while disease and madness spread. Near El Centro, California, an old man tuned a dying radio. A final broadcast crackled through. This is President Alan March. Keep hope. The worst is over. We will rebuild. Freedom will pre. Static consume the signal. Welcome to the end.